this perfect dream.
Sueño me envolvió.
This dream was me and you.
Hay veces no sé.
I want all the world to see.
El instinto me guiaba.
Miracle sensation, my guide and inspiration. Now my dream is slowly coming true. The wind is a gentle breeze. The bells are ringing out. They're calling us together, guiding us forever. Wish my dream would never go away. Barcelona, it was the first night that we met. Barcelona, how can I forget the moment that you stepped into the room? You took my breath away. Barcelona,
Música y
God willing, we will meet again someday. Let the songs begin. Let the music play. Make the voices sing. Start the celebrations and cry, and shake the foundations from the sky. I'm taking all Barcelona, such a beautiful horizon. Barcelona, like a jewel in the sun. Conquístalo, Dios de tu Barcelona, if God is willing, if God is willing, but it's until the end. Viva!
Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys live phone-in show here on Monday, September the 30th, here on Hail Hail Media. The night before, let's turn this up here. The night before we take on Barcelona once again, and we're all G'd up. Plenty to talk about, plenty to get through tonight, and feel free to call us in, do the old boring stuff first. Call us in Skype. If you haven't got Skype, the amount of people I meet that haven't got Skype is bizarre. Call us in on Skype. Just download Skype on your computer and then add us in, HomeBhoys on Skype, and give us a call. We'll add you into the call and then we'll chat away to you. We've also got a phone number, which I have handy right here. HomeBhoys, I do indeed. HomeBhoys phone number is 0141 356 7327. That's a Glasgow local number, so it's going to cost you the price of a local call in Glasgow, if you're in Glasgow. If you're not in Glasgow, it's like calling Glasgow. Very simple. So call us up. We'll take your call. Anything you want to talk about, obviously, as long as it pertains to Celtic. I am, of course, Joe McKenna, here in the North County Dublin on a Monday night as usual. I'm joined by the man who's taken Jock Stein at his word and creates new legends every week, Mr. Jason Higgins.
How you doing?
And the one, the only king of the king of Drogheda, Mr. David Harper.
I'm not the king of Drogheda, man.
I know, but I'm trying to build you up, like
Just the prince.
the Prince. So the last time I called you Prince, you said no.
Oh well.
Make your mind up. The Duke of Drogheda. That sounds good.
Duke of Drogheda. I'm not on any royal title or anything like that, man. I'm just an ordinary man. Nothing special, nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, obviously the biggest thing on the agenda tonight is tomorrow night's game at Barcelona and all the things and the variabilities that go around that, the variables that go around with that, like team selections and injuries and all that stuff. Before we get into that, we obviously want to talk about the game at the weekend, the 5-2 destruction of Kilmarnock. I actually didn't get to see the game, but I've read loads of reports and watched plenty of highlights. Jason, you yourself were at it.
Aye, I was there, mate.
And how was it?
Aye, pretty good. Big Sammy was world class. You know, the useless genius. He was definitely a genius at the weekend. And I watched the highlights as well. And that clown Craig Levine pulled Lenny up, saying he was world class. He went on to some rant about how he doesn't produce it every week, so he can't be world class. Lenny never said he was a world class player. He said it was a world class performance, which the useless genius can chuck in every now and then. And he was unplayable, you know, one of the games. And just I hope he carries the form on to tomorrow night, you know. But he played really well. Good to see Big Baldy get a goal. First goal, Commons, the ball sort of rebounded, and Commons, I think he actually tried it, you know, it was like a bouncing shot, he put it into the ground and it looked to the keeper.
Definitely.
Then, I definitely think he tried it. Then was the second goal, second goal was like Sammy's volley, the way he struck it, you know, it's just like he's the only guy in the team that could strike it like that. It was like a side foot, but it went in like a rocket. And then
It had a bit of curl on as well, did it?
Aye, his second goal, the way he done the 1-2, you know, he was just shouting for it back and just drilled it. Brilliant. Or the defending wasn't the best, but brilliant. And then he gets a wee header in the second half after we lost 2 goals to go 3-2. Well, they got a free kick, which wasn't a free kick, but the guy put it away. And then their second goal, to be honest with Izzy he was a bit pish at defending, to be honest with you, for that one. But hopefully he's not going to have any lapses like that against Barcelona, which we can't afford. And then Big Sammy got his 4-2 up, and then it was great to see Baldy.
It was a great finish. Great finish.
Aye, done well, the big man. And Pookie looked not too bad. He had an exocet missile off the crossbar.
I thought he was great.
Stokes was pretty quiet, so I don't know. I think Lenny will maybe go with Pookie tomorrow night up front. But we'll get to that in a wee bit. But very good. Scorching hot day. Had a great day with the boys in Kilmarnock. So it was a great wee day out.
And I believe there was some trouble. You just mentioned there before we were off air. Was there mention of trouble?
I didn't see any. So they said in one of the Select forums that there was a bit of trouble in one of the stands. I don't know.
What constitutes trouble now, though? What is?
I didn't see anything.
But what constitutes trouble now? Anything? Your man's smoking. Hit guy's smoking.
To be fair, the boys saying there was a bit of fisticuffs that went on for about half an hour, but I think you had to be right in the section to see it, sort of thing.
I don't know anybody that can fight for half an hour apart from boxers.
There they are. Fat professional boxers. Or John Wayne and the Quiet Man. That was about half an hour, wasn't it?
That's right. Tell you what, that was the best tourist video you'll ever see from Mayo because they went round the entire town.
But you're right. Half an hour seems a bit. But at the end of the day, I didn't see it, so I'm not going to comment on something that I didn't see. And I genuinely didn't.
You enjoyed yourself then? Had a good day?
Aye, great day. I was at a wedding Friday night, wedding reception, and a few pints on Saturday morning, and then it was party time.
Oh, were the pints kind of an extension of Friday night?
Aye, just a wee top up. But I thoroughly enjoyed my day.
So who had the joys of getting you home?
Myself. I don't know how I made it. Woke up on the couch at 4 a.m. At least I was in the in-house.
Happy days.
Happy days. Happy days.
Sammy, he's been known in the past now to put in a performance like that before a big game. I mean, obviously now he's proved his worth over the years. He obviously is mean, he has that in his locker. He can be absolutely fantastic, and he can be absolutely useless. But he does tend to, he tends to raise his game when things are coming up.
Kilmarnock's a happy hunting ground for Samaras as well.
He scored plenty
That's
of
where he
goals.
scored his first goal, wasn't it?
Aye.
It was his debut, I think he made down there, didn't he? He cut inside, aye.
Is that the one he ran down the lane and he came back in the box?
Aye, cut inside and he's left, and then
That was a smashing goal.
curled it in. Aye, but he's without getting a bit overboard, he is our only world class player at times. He can chuck in performances that nobody else in the team's capable of doing, I would say. I just think he can mix it with the best of them, and against top draw, like he could put a performance in against Barcelona tomorrow night that makes him unplayable.
Yeah,
he can be that good.
I think the one thing about
he can also put in the old mediocre performance or even useless performance every now and then. Aye.
What do you think that is? Because Strachan always talked about that, saying, Strachan, listen, this guy has it, whatever it is, he has it. We just need to get it out of him. Is it a confidence thing? Is it just... It's just like he has more off days than he has good days?
I think it's opposite now. I think he has more good days than off days these days, man. I just think he's one of the kind of players. They sort of flair players, which is really what he's kind of become. They don't do it every time they go on the park. They aren't like your Joe Ledley's, if you like, Mr. Consistency. Well, to say that he's been great this season, but do you know what I mean? They're usually either outstanding or they're maybe not in the game. They're very rarely do they have just an average performance, I feel. And I think Samaras is putting in more good performances than bad these days.
I mean,
no agree with that, no?
I do, absolutely. I think he definitely has the makings of not a Celtic legend, but he's a guy that'll be remembered. You know what I mean?
See, the fact that you'd Stokes and Pookie playing on Saturday gives Samaras more a sort of free role because he's got two men kind of playing up front instead of him being one of the other front men, and he's having to do a lot more work. I think if there's a two strikers playing with him, it gives him more a free role and gives him more a license to roam. Instead of him having to be the guy maybe that's up there for the high punt at the park, and he's maybe sometimes looking to knock it on and stuff like that. But there's two strikers playing in front of him. I think it gives him more freedom.
Do you think the pressure's a wee bit often then?
I don't think he's under any pressure.
No.
You heard him talking.
No,
I think he's just a big Greek god. He's just that laid back, and what I like about him as well. He's always if he's played a wonder game like Spartak Moscow away. See if he gets interviewed after the game, he always plays it down. He just says that's all about the team, And when he has a bit of a stinker, he doesn't get too upset as well. He's just a big sort of lackadaisical type guy, and that's the way he comes across anyway away from the park.
See, the thing about that is, you're totally right. He does have that sort of he's very relaxed, even on the park. But he's unusually strong. He doesn't look as strong as he is. I'm saying, pushing guys off, because he's a lot stronger than you think he would be. I think it's his pace as well as deceiving. He's got that big giraffe legs.
He can take the ball. He's maybe 20 yards inside his own half, and then before you know it, he could be getting into the opposition's box after 2 strides.
Yeah,
it's he's very, very deceiving. But when he takes that ball for a run, and especially in European games, like tomorrow night we'll be under the cosh, and he can relieve the pressure. He's definitely a key player, and when you play in these big games, I think he's first name in the team sheet.
Yeah, you're totally right. And to think, remember the days when all we would do was just complain about him?
Well, there's never been a player in Celtic history, as far as I'm concerned, that's made as many people eat their words as Samaras.
Me definitely. I called him the useless genius, sort of light-hearted, but he's merely a genius useless now. As Harper says, he's sort of turned the balance. He still puts in the odd stinker, but I'd say he's more good than he's bad. But let's face it, if he was a genius every week, he wouldn't be playing with us. Maybe he would, because maybe he's found his home.
Because I think you really, when you hear him talking and you hear him a lot about him, he loves it at Celtic. No, he could have left Celtic, I think, 2 seasons ago. He could have left us, and I just think he loved it there. And he loves it there, and he loves playing in front of the Celtic support. I think he's just found, as you say, he's found his place. I think he's still relatively young man. Was he 28 or something?
Forget that he's been around such a long time. He feels like he's been around such a long time.
I could be wrong on that. How old is he?
He's in his 20s.
I'll just Google
20,
that.
20s anyway. But obviously playing with Man City and playing at sort of the top level in England, he's had a wee shot at that, and he's maybe seen the pressure that was under him, and you know he's obviously seen the other side of the cricket. Celtic, we're a big club, obviously, but that's a different level when you get into the English Premiership with the pressure that's under you and stuff like that. So he's maybe found his level with us.
That's unbelievable. See, when you Google Georges Samaras, there's an advert at the top of Google for Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders, it's nothing to do with Samaras, it's just an advert.
Speaking of, you're having to Google Samaras's age, we should actually point out there's no Paul Larkin tonight, so there'd be a noticeable lack of intelligence on the show tonight.
Aye, definitely. And if you're looking for historical facts and stuff like that, forget it.
Well, we could just make it up.
Aye.
I got no problem just making stuff up. Like
28, Harper.
21st of February 1985. That makes you sound old. See when you need somebody's birthday like that, 1985.
I'm 14 year older though.
Man, I tell you what, I go to some schools and you ask kids their age. They go, I was born in 90. Like, oh, Jesus Christ.
6'4" years, man.
Aye.
6 foot tall, how big he is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how big is your man Van Dijk? Because he's bigger than him.
He's a bear, isn't he?
He's massive.
He's a bear.
The thing is, he's the biggest goal threat from defence that we've had in years, I think.
I think he's got potential to be an absolute star for us.
I think so too. I think just seeing him, like, I mean, he's a good defender. He seems to be smart. He's obviously super strong. But I mean, up at the other end of the park, he's well and about it, like in terms of getting headers and shots, and he has a bit of skill to him as well.
See, looking at this, right, just looking at some of these stats, Samaras has scored 49 goals for Celtic in 157 appearances, which is practically a goal every 3 games.
And you've got to think,
which is a higher strike rate than I would have guessed.
But you got to think a good percentage of those got to be from the bench as well.
Well, that doesn't give you that kind of breakdown, like, but they will be, yeah.
So you could probably even it down to like 1 in every 2. Maybe, no? Starts? 1 in every 2 starts, maybe? I don't know.
You say you don't stop snorting, I'm hanging up.
I can't, I'm down with a cold.
Blow your nose.
Do you rather I sit here and blow my
People
nose?
be listening to you in their ears.
Alright, I'll try not to. I'll cough. Okay. Right, where were we? Harper, what was your take on the game on Saturday? What was your take on the game on Saturday?
That was quite good. I actually watched it completely sober in the pub.
What?
I know, man. I'm on all this medication for my shoulder, so I'm not drinking because I just want to fall asleep. So, and I went up to Sarsfields, which I was saying to Jason yesterday that with a few boys for Celtic Minded message board came in. I didn't know anything. Like, no, they were just talking on Friday. They were going to be in the league for a party on Saturday night. They're coming over from Glasgow. And I says, if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game, come into Sarsfields with a bit of crack. I'm completely forgetting half your club was away to Donegal for the weekend.
Oh no!
For the Bundoran Festival. You know that?
Yeah, the Celtic Festival in Bundoran. Yeah.
So the place was dead. There was only 6 or 7 when they came in. I was a wee bit embarrassed. Like, no, it's a great crack. Come in and see the boys.
When that happens, you make big promises and then it falls apart.
But no, I ended up there was about maybe 16, 20 of us in the end watching the game. But as I said, I watched it completely sober. And I just thought we were excellent. The goals, as Jason says, the free kick was never a free kick.
No, it was embarrassing.
When they go back to 3-2, it was a complete, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't a reflection. The scoreline wasn't a reflection on the way the game was going, like at that stage, do you know what I mean? We completely dominated the second half as well. And the goals were a long time coming. And the one thing I'll say about Baldy, when he was running through, if that had still been a 3-2 scoreline, there would, you know that way, because he should have played Stokeson.
Yeah.
Stokes was clean through the middle, but at 4-2 and he's looking for his first goal, so you're like, aye, fair enough, big man. They went on and they put it away, like, no. But if that had been like a 3-2, you'd have been screaming, get that ball across, like, no. But no, I was absolutely delighted for him, and he seemed to enjoy it as well. I love the celebration standing up on the boardings, like, no. He got booked for it, of course. As in Scotland, you can't celebrate anything. But no, I was delighted for him, and hopefully that'll give him a bit of a boost. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the starting team on tomorrow night, of course. Be a bench for him. He'll probably be a bench player. You would have to say he's going to be a bench player for the majority of the season. You would see, like, no, barring injuries, because Pookie, Stokes and Samaras are always going to be ahead of him, I think.
But I think that
But Samaras is a midfielder.
I know, but just the way we play, I think Pookie and Stokes will play most games, and even like see your man Baldy. I read that he's the kind of guy that can play maybe off the front too as well. So maybe you'll see some weeks Samaras will get a break and Baldy will play maybe on the other side. So I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that, but I think he will find his chances maybe here and there this season. But he's still a young guy, and I think he's a guy for the future. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think
he does look a bit raw. And I think he'll get better and better just training with the players at Celtic. And I definitely think he's one for the future. I certainly never written him off like some people had. I mean, he's never had a chance, like, you know. Same way Boric, I see a lot of people who started to want to write him off already.
Nah, he'll come good.
You can just tell he's got a bit of class about him. He'll come good as well. I've no fears in that. But no, I was delighted. Great performance going into for Tuesday night, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Especially Kilmarnock. I can't stand Kelly like no.
Tell me something. See with these signings, I think we touched that a few weeks ago, but see years ago when we signed somebody in the summer, that was you. You were going to have them for a couple of years. So see if they started off no great, you didn't make your mind up because they were going to be there. You know, they were going to be playing. You get one or two new signings, and you had them. You know, you were going to have them for a couple of years. Nowadays, it's like they get 10 minutes. Oh, they're useless. Get rid of them.
Do you know what I think some of it is as well, Jason? Some of it as well, like when we were like younger and that, a lot of the times you sign players that you probably knew. Do you know what I mean? Or they even like the guys that you didn't know so much, like your Jakunovskis and that, they still came with maybe a bit of a pedigree. So sometimes I think with these young guys, people are already just to write them off right away. Well, he's a young guy, he's no use. Do you know what I mean? Because we're signing players probably younger and less experienced than what we did when we were maybe like in our 20s, if you know what I mean by that. I think people are just too quick to try and write people off because they didn't know nothing about them. Do you know what I mean? Or this guy's a nobody. He's useless if they didn't turn it on straight away. And we're far, far too quick to jump into that. I think I've even done it myself maybe a few years back, but I think I'm maybe a wee bit older and maturer now, and you just see that these guys have got to get time, and it's been proven as well when you look at some of the players that people have written off that have turned it around. Samaras is the prime example there, for example, you know. And
Henrik Larsson.
Well, Henrik Larsson's the one everybody goes back to. I think that's an obvious one, eh? But it has been proven time and time again. There's loads of players that have come to Celtic and they've maybe took a full season. They're moving to a new culture. I mean, your man hardly speaks any English. Was it him? Was it him where I seen him where he ran on the park and he had a bit of paper with instructions?
Yes, it was.
And that was the first time. That's the first time I've seen that in my life. I mean, because obviously he doesn't have the language skills to pass on Lennon's instructions. So he had to run on with a bit of paper.
I think I was against AC Milan.
And he passed it to Stokes, was it?
It was Stokes, aye.
So, I mean, obviously, it's a big, massive change for him. Coming from where he was, to come and play for Celtic. He doesn't speak English, or very, very little English at that. Which that'll improve with time. And it's a young guy settling into a new life. And you've got to give him time.
Hey, been joined by a listener. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Alistair, is that you?
Yeah.
I knew it.
And I'm one of these callers that can't use Skype either, so you're alright.
I will know you're
So, then you worry about it, guys. So, how we all feeling about them all night then?
I may as well just...
Excited, mate. Oh, excited. What about you?
I'm no bad. It's only Barcelona and I've no got Messi, so we're alright. We're easy 5-0, job.
Mascherano and Messi.
Well, but no, guys, I just want them to give a good account there. So I know that might sound a bit defeatist, but you've got to remember this is one hell of a team we're playing against. So just take it as it comes. But I agree with you, Jason. I think he might drop Stokes and play Pookie up front.
Aye.
Just for a bit of European experience, like, you know, but I know a lot of fans on Saturday was saying I was there myself and a lot of folk weren't enamoured with his performance. I thought he put a bit of work there in.
Aye, I thought he done alright.
I thought he played well as well.
So what team do we think we'll go with?
But I just think you were talking about no game signings and even break. I just think, especially with the big Baldy, I mean, if you think about it, he's not really had a lot of starts. He's been coming on 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, so I don't know how you can judge players. We're about 20 minutes here and there, you know?
I definitely agree, mate, definitely agree. So while you're on, Alistair, what team do you think you'll play with?
I think he'll play the left back and drop Eddie.
Do you? Nah, see, I think you'll put Mulgrew in the middle of the park with Brown. The two of them play deep.
No, I think, that is what I think the Gaffer Lenny will do. And what I would do would probably be different, but I think he might play a strong Brun, Kyle and Beaton and say the three of them in the centre of the midfield, and then maybe just say Cummins, Samaras and Pookie.
Kyle and Beaton, you think he'll start with A2?
I don't see that.
Well, that's what I would do, but...
A chance, mate.
But just when I mentioned Kyle at the weekend, I thought, I definitely think you'll get one of the two.
Alistair, that's why your team always finishes bottom of the league in Football Manager.
I don't play it, you're alright.
Can you know mind? See if you cast your mind back. Sorry, Alistair. See if you cast your mind back to the last game. Did they not play Adam Matthews at left back? Did they not reverse the fullbacks? Because see, Barcelona, they never get down and cross the ball. They always cut inside.
But mine knew Jason of Neymar, and he's good in there. So, well, he's better than anything.
See, I'll be fair, I've not been watching much of them with this new manager, so are they putting crossbars in now? Or are they still, is ever the pass move?
Actually, they always try to, but no, they always try to play the same way, but see if it's no going right. This manager's no averse to crossing balls in.
Oh, right.
That might be a wee bit different.
Guardiola, another boy, they never did. They would play 90 minutes, you'd just keep the wee passes.
No, but I wouldn't expect, but I definitely think he'll play three in the middle of the park, because that worked for us last year, and he'll definitely do that again. Whether the personnel's right, I don't have no idea, but I definitely think he'll do that. So it's just it's great to be discussing this and they're sitting in the house, you know. At least for there to be shot down. I mean,
you can't beat it, man. Barcelona at Celtic Park tomorrow night. Happy days. Doesn't get much better.
But I would say one thing before we finish up on this. I do think the next 3 games after this are the key games in this group for us.
Yeah.
If we can get a point at the end, no more that we're doing well. Because the next 3 games are winnable, I would say.
I would agree.
The next three games will decide what we do in this group.
Yeah, I'll take a point now.
I think realistic to beat that team 2 years in a row.
Oh, you never say never. Like the boys at work said to me today, what do you think tomorrow night with Messi being it? Because we'll probably beat 2-0 instead of 2-1.
I hope maybe the Celtic players score, because I've been living on it ever since. But
tell me this. Everybody's opinion here. Are any a wee bit gutted that Messi's no playing?
No.
I've seen a few guys online saying it's unfortunate because you don't get to see a guy like that play all the time.
I'm absolutely delighted he's not playing.
My mate said, I'm gutted. And I'm like, that, are you off your head?
Aye.
You're talking about the best player in the world.
I've heard a few folks saying that to me as well, but I don't want the best player in the world playing against us.
He scores 75% of their goals, and I don't care how good a team you are. You take 75% of goals out a team, they struggle.
But
I don't
you better
care
believe
who they
it.
are.
You take him out there, team, I don't think they're winning La Liga. I don't think they're even getting near it.
But saying that, but see, Real Madrid, they're like the Hull Globetrotters, play one good game and lose the next two. But
Jason,
we'll take it fair, boys, and we'll just... I was there, this quick way about the Kilmarnock game. I was there on Saturday and I never seen any fisticuffs. But
I didn't see it,
I was in the main stand where the majority of fellow supporters were housed. There were no bother for them. I could see.
Alistair, you'll do for me. You're the kind of person I like to get arrested with. I've seen nothing, officer. You'll do for me, comrade.
Well, they would need to take the electric wheelchair in the back of the van and no police would do that at Harper, so you're alright. But time will tell, boys, and we'll take it for there. But all the best for tomorrow night, and a wee 1-0 with Commons would do.
I'll do. By the way, I think you've maybe, I know we've said Samaras is a talisman, but Commons as well, he's massive for us tomorrow night.
Well, only for his work rate. I mean, if you remember last year, and I was sitting in the main stand, and he was getting dog abuse for letting the boy Alba get in the right hand side, and you're like, as long as you don't close the ball in, you're alright. But because I don't know if you remember, Jason,
they never did close the ball in.
But the crowd were getting on Commons' back last year for no going with runners.
Oh, I know, but it's you get the games and just folk are just getting that excited, and I know, but just it's the racket we make as well. But I know what you mean, and you got a load of tourists at the games as well.
Keep good luck with the new display. I think that'll be cracking. Hope it's as good as last year, maybe even better.
Well, it's the main displays.
See, before we go any further, Matt, I know we spoke off air that we've seen what party it was. Obviously, maybe a lot of people have seen it, but maybe some people didn't want to know. So maybe we shouldn't mention what we've seen that party display is. What do you think?
I haven't heard that about it. All I know is the club tweeted today they want everybody in to be part of the display at Barcelona.
I've seen some pictures. There's some pictures on Twitter of Barcelona training at Celtic Park. You can make it the stuff in the North Stand. What it's going to say, like what the players are going to see when they come out of the tunnel.
I haven't seen any picture.
So we should probably just keep that to ourselves anyway, Joe. Me and you've seen it, Joe. So maybe some people didn't want to know.
We'll just say if you don't want to know what it is, close your ears now. Right, Harper? What does it say?
Well, as I say, I don't know what it is. I just heard about it. So.
Well, it says.
I hope it goes. I hope it's magic.
Is that a big poppy or something?
What?
It's a big white poppy.
Oh dear. No, but anyway, boys. Hopefully the boys will do the business. But and we'll just take it for there. So, all the best for the rest of the show, guys, and I hope we're all celebrating tomorrow night.
Definitely. You enjoy it, mate.
A wee rhyme, and that's the last thing I'm going to say. The hands on turmoil as the boys beat Barca as the Celtic home marching on. So there you go.
There you go, mate.
No problem.
And on that note,
that's actually what it says on the display.
Probably. But no, so we'll take it for there. But I'll speak to you soon, guys.
Right,
Keep up the good work.
all the best,
Alistair,
Alistair.
take it easy, mate. Cheers for calling in, pal.
Cheers.
Good man.
Tough to say. I always look forward to Alistair's call every week now.
So do I. Yeah.
Right,
Mr.
brightens the place-
Positivity.
That brightens the place up for sure.
Definitely.
Do you really want us to talk about the display, what it says?
Say aye, why no? If they're tweeting out photos of it, it's not exactly.
I think it's on the Celtic Facebook. Like.
You can see it just as the players walk out. It's just a massive. The top half says "this is," and the bottom half says "paradise."
Right.
So that's what is going to be behind the goals, etc. And then the main stand, I don't know. But that's what you can see in the north stand. This is paradise. Not a bit like this is Sparta, I suppose.
Aye.
But,
The
I'm
Green
kinda glad-
Brigade, they've got their own display, haven't they? They'd already put a lot of work into theirs, so they're still
See,
doing
just
their
before
own.
we come to that then, see, just see
Aye.
one thing I did worry about, Jason, right?
Aye.
This is something that it's a bugbear of mine when we play Barcelona and some other teams as well, to be honest. This friendship stuff we do, right? And I had a big fear that it was going to be a big, two hands shaking with Barcelona and Celtic colours or something like that.
I wouldn't have held up.
I was really panicking about that, like, no. But so I'm glad it's nothing like that. Because I'm all right, people can like Barcelona. I know Joe likes Barcelona and stuff like that. But when it comes to the game, I don't want us to be any niceness before the game or that. This is us to be them at the end of the day. You can go back to liking them after the game and that, but the display should just all be about us, in my opinion.
Oh, I totally, 100%.
And I was worried about that because I thought that's the kind of thing. Because then I was thinking, because Celtic will be thinking this is a good way to make money, so we can sell it to the Barcelona fans as well. And I was like, please don't do that. But so I'm happy to say that's what it says so far anyway. But no, it just says this is PA.
Well, I like this. It could say that this is Partick.
I could say so. I could be completely wrong, but I would put my countdown champions head on the line and say that's going to say Paradise.
Aye. And as we speak, it's 1-0 to Everton. Lukaku, get in there.
You don't support Everton.
I don't, no, but I like them to win.
Are we going to just ditch the Kilmarnock thing now and just go straight into the Barca talk? May as
Right,
well.
getting out to spittle this tobacco.
I'm just going to get a beer. Give me a sec.
Right, no problem. She's a good
Tobacco and that chewing tobacco, Joe.
You chewing tobacco?
Alright.
So I can't snort, but you can fart and burp and make all kinds of disgusting noises.
Chewing tobacco doesn't make you fart and burp.
All I can hear is weird animal noises coming down the lane.
It's all stuck to my teeth and
Sexy.
I wouldn't say that, no. Maybe just to wrap up on the Kilmarnock game then. It was a good win. It was a good. I know Kilmarnock are struggling a wee bit this season. I think they've only picked up 1 point at home. They were saying before the game, and I was listening to interviews. But nevertheless, we have a pretty good record there. But we usually always got a tough game there, and we usually get kicked off the park there. So I'm glad we came out of it without any injuries. Good confidence booster, a few goals scored, and that'll do Samaras. Not that Samaras really needs it, but he'll go into that walking on a cloud like to get a hat trick. So, he got a hat trick.
You did,
Yeah,
He did. The third goal. What am I thinking? So no, just to summarise that, great performance, great 3 points, keeps us in the hunt in the league. And there's not a lot you can say about it, man. It's just like a great day, you know.
See when you mentioned the league, I tell you what about Motherwell and Inverness? Tell you what, hats off. I know it's Stuart McCall's not everybody's favourite, but you can't grumble with the job he's doing with Motherwell. If they're losing all his players, he's signing free transfers left, right and centre, and they're still churning out results. And for Big Butcher up in Inverness, I mean, with these guys, these are doing this in a shoestring budget. And, Motherwell's got half a new team than they had last year. So I don't know what his secret is, but hats after them.
I think as well, it's a kind of grudging compliment to Big Butcher as well. Like he wouldn't be many favourites, but he's done an amazing job up there. To be fair to him, there was talk. I remember there was talk in the summer about even once the season started. I think that McCoy's getting his books and that Butcher was lined up. There's no way. Butcher would be crazy to go anywhere near that. The job he's doing up there, man. He started something good up there that I think he'll want to see through. To be honest.
He's no flavour of the month with them anyway. Seemingly, I don't know what he's done, but seemingly he's made a few choice comments over the years.
Well, remember he got pictured with the ice cream. The with ice cream and jelly.
What was that?
Remember
Oh,
when
is that
he
what
went
it
ice
was?
cream
Right.
and jelly, and he the next day he's the paper with a pretzel with ice cream, laughing like fuck. So they wanted to happen with that.
Is that what it was? Aye.
I say that was the start of it.
Aye.
Brilliant.
To be fair, they're not the brightest, are they?
To be fair, when you hear Butcher talk, sometimes you think he maybe isn't either, so maybe he didn't even know what he was doing that day, but I don't know. Anyway, Peter right up with.
Aye. Very good.
So on to tomorrow night then. Jason, what's your plans? Obviously you'll be working, you straight through work, meeting a few boys.
Well, it was interesting before because we were a couple of minutes late to come on the night. And the primary reason for me being late is I was like a demented budget up in the bed and I was searching for Champions League tickets. And eventually I think I found them all. But because I've got...
What do you mean? How would they be displaced?
I've got two different lots of them. And Linda, she'd always tidies up and things like that. And I'll leave
The
things lying.
wife has got to get them.
No,
it's Linda's fault, isn't it?
It's my fault. I'll leave everything lying about. And I've got 4 lots of Champions League match packages to hand out to folk tomorrow night, and with my own as well. So I had 5 lots of them, so 15 tickets, and I found 9 of them, and I couldn't find the other 6.
Joe, why am I picturing Jason and his good lady just frolicking with a bed covered in Champions League tickets when the two of them are drunk in their faces?
Fucking Zadok the Priest, full blast in the background.
People use $100 bills that in Las Vegas. Jason uses Champions League tickets.
He's gonna make it rain Champions League tickets in the house.
That's miles away there. Come on.
There's maybe one stuck to the mirrored ceiling. You looked up there.
Aye. It's maybe wrapped in the satin bed sheets. Oh man. It's behind the big photo of the leopard. So I eventually found them. I was panicking, to be fair. So there you go. I need to do a wee bit of running about tomorrow. So I've got a few Scousers coming, and me Maltese George is coming up for London, and one of my other mates. So I need to sort them out with their tickets. But there you go. Just incidentally, I've seen on one of the Celtic websites, they're posting links on the Gumtree folk are selling tickets on there, touting them obviously, 100 odd quid. Shocking.
Disappointing that, eh?
I know. I hope Celtic can get to the bottom and get them off, and maybe find out who's selling them, because it's not on. It's one thing Celtic were proud of, that our fans don't do that.
Right.
You know, and
100%,
face value and face value only, and that's one of the great things. I mean, I've been to various football games throughout the world, and it's not the done thing anywhere else. Folk are always putting a wee bit on their tickets, and they don't think anything else out.
Even you mean regular punters like going to the game with spare tickets?
Aye, down in Liverpool, if it's a sought after game, and my mates won't. You know, I'll always get them face value, but you'll see them outside the ground. Some of them will stick 20 and 30 quid on it. No bother, and it's like nobody's cracking up at them or anything like that.
It's not on.
No, just there is a culture of that. It's just I'm glad we didn't have it like no, especially. I mean, you know yourself, some of these big games you could sell the tickets for 4 times the value easily, you know.
Aye, it's one of the things that Celtic's the beauty of Celtic fans. We don't do it. Nobody does it.
Aye. And if you ever do see somebody trying it, they're no longer getting tilt.
No, aye, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Because I have seen that in the past, like, you know.
Yeah.
Some if it tried to maybe bought a few and maybe doesn't know the crack, and they're no longer getting told in the street, like, you know. But, that's it. So, Joe, what about yourself? You just got to watch at home, or are you going to make a trip through to the club? Or
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you. That's an interesting question. See,
if you're in your house snorting like a pig.
my missus is studying at the minute, so I might have to stay in the house and kind of watch it over the top of the kids.
Keep an eye on the kids. I'm going to be going up to the supporters club, the Milan game. We had 30 in, which is pretty good for a Wednesday night. I envisage will be the same again tomorrow night. Like, no, the club's really taking off, like, especially these Champions League games. So, be a good crack, anybody. If you're anybody listening to this, I know there is a few people who listen to this in the Drogheda area, and I've never seen them in the pub yet. So, it'll be a good night to come down and for the first time and join in the crack, and there'll be free food and everything at half time and that. So, get your fires down to Sarsfield's. I could promise you now, it'll be a good crack. There'll be a good squad in, like, no, definitely. And all the crew are back to Bundon the night for the festival. So, we'll have a full house. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm going to try and, if I can get up a wee bit earlier from my work tomorrow, try and get in an hour early, and that means I can finish an hour early with my flexi time. Well, I got the pub maybe an hour before kick-off, get a few beers in me and really enjoy it. Like, you know?
So what team do you think we're going to play? I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So I reckon he'll play Azagiri. I reckon he'll play Lustig and Big Virgil.
Yeah.
Centre pairing, and he'll play Matthews. Azagiri and Matthews. Matthews on the right, Azagiri on the left. In the middle of the park, I think he'll play Charlie Mulgrew, Scott Brown, and Chris Commons.
Like in a diamond sort of thing, like in a Commons.
Yeah, I think he'll play Samaras on the left, and I think he'll play Adam Matthews right midfield. Did I say he was playing Matthews at right back?
There's two Adam Matthews.
Aye. No, I've made a mess of this.
Isn't he Lennon in this team?
You've not got Ambrose in the team.
No, but it's
No, right.
Two centre halves are Lustig.
Lustig. Sorry, he'll play Lustig at right back. He'll play Ambrose and Van Dijk in the middle.
You think he'll bring
He'll play
Lustig on the right?
at right. He'll play Lustig at right back. He'll play Adam Matthews at right midfield.
Oh, that's a good call.
And then he'll play
Is
Pookie
Adam
up front.
Matthews fit? I mean, I know he went off and he seemed to be an illness because he puked up on the park, which seems to be all the rage since One Direction done it. But
That's the thing to do now.
has there been any word? Was it just like a bit of sickness bug or what's the crack?
I think he's fit. Aye. So I reckon he'll play Pookie up front himself, with obviously the option to bring Stokes on, and he'll play at 5 in the middle, and it'll be, I think he'll put Mulgrew in the middle with Brown and Commons. Commons obviously playing up behind Pookie, and Brown and Mulgrew sitting deep, and Matthews and Big Sammy. Matthews playing the more deep role and Sammy the more sort of free role. But obviously, depending on the way the game starts taking shape, to see which flank we're getting the most joy out of, or if we're getting the joy out of any flanks or the best flanks, we're keeping Barcelona at bay. But that's the team I would reckon.
You think as well, I mean, if that's the way it goes, on the right-hand side, you've got basically two defenders. You've got Matthews, you get past, and you got Lustig. I mean, so the right side's probably well protected. To the left side would be where he is. But then again, you've got Samaras there, and he's got enough ability.
But you've not got much protection because him and Azagiri can't really defend.
I know, but then you've got Charlie Mulgrew. He's probably going to be on the left-hand side of the midfield anyway.
Aye.
Right?
Aye, so he can maybe drop behind Sammy.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, right?
Cover
Jason,
there.
I have to say, I think probably you're bang on the money.
So do I.
I think that will be the lineup. The only consideration would maybe be, you could maybe see, as Alistair alluded to, you could maybe see Mulgrew play at left back instead of Azagiri. I don't think so myself, but it is the one thing that, because he's done it before, just to get that to get Mulgrew in the team, and maybe just to make it a bit more solid at the back, because Azagiri, as we say, is not the greatest defender, and he can get caught forward a lot these days. So you could maybe see Mulgrew in there, and then that would free up another midfield spot. And maybe Beaton could come in, and because Lennon sometimes like to. Joe, you said it a few times. He likes to spring a surprise sometimes. These big games. But I think that surprise will probably be Pookie starting rather than Stokes, as Jason says. So I would go with the team that you said there, Jason. Although I wouldn't be the biggest shot if, or even as you said before, Matthews could even play at left back like we did the last time. But I can't see that myself. But Azagiri is the one player who's maybe 50-50 to start. No, maybe not even 50-50. Maybe he's got a 20% chance of no starting. But I would go with the team that you picked there.
Do you think there's any possibility in the world that he'd play with two up front?
No.
Nah.
I wouldn't see it.
I just can't see it, man. I mean, it would be,
because I think, see, when you play Stokes up front on his own, he's not the best.
No.
I think Stokes has done brilliant this season. He's been fantastic, and he deserves a place in the team. So, but I think he needs another striker next to him.
Definitely. You're not going to hear any arguments from me on that point, like, no. And you feel kind of sorry for him if he does drop it again one of these big nights. I just don't know. He wasn't great against AC Milan, to be honest. Like, no. As you say, I can't see him going with two men because it would go against everything that we know of Lennon. so far, especially with Samaras in the team. I mean, you would be talking about a lineup similar to who they played on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't know if that gives us enough beef in the midfield to go up against their passing game, like, no.
I mean,
it'd certainly be risky at best.
Scott Brown, he's going to be vital with his energy tomorrow to close them down. And we just need, I mean, at the end of the day, football's mental. Anything can happen, you know, but you need to make sure you've not got guys on bookings and stuff like that, because the way they can get rid of the ball quick, you know, you're a couple of seconds late in the challenge, boof, you're off the park.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else. I hope we really make use of the dead ball situations that we get, because like there, I know we weren't really going to go back to the Morton game, and I never seen it myself. Like, no, I was ill in bed, but 27 corners on the night, and you're not scoring. And I know, as I said, I've never seen anything, but I just, when you're playing against somebody like Barcelona, Wanyama scored last season with a header, and that's a vulnerability if they have got one, where you can maybe even be 50-50 with them. When you get a crossbar going in the box, that's something that can be a real weapon for us. And I just hope that we really make good use of any of the dead ball situations, and it's probably another reason that Mulgrew will definitely be the team.
I have visions of Commons scoring from outside the box, like I just do. I mean,
2-0 Everton.
Seen that,
Yeah. Wait, now to find out the draw to score, if that's what we're doing.
Oh, pardon me.
So what do you reckon with the Green Brigade doing their own display and Celtic doing their display? What's the consensus of opinion?
Well,
Right,
clearly,
I'll go first.
well, go ahead.
I'll go first, right? Now, I kind of agree with you, Jason, what we just said off air, right? Maybe the Green Brigade should join them in the main display and then do theirs, but maybe theirs is particular to them coming out. I don't know. But they seemingly,
I think they're always particular for them coming out, so fair enough, you know.
But seemingly they've had dialogue with Celtic. Everybody seems to be happy about this. The Green Brigade are quite happy about it. The club are quite happy about it. So, is there an issue? I don't think so. The display we've seen, the North Stand seems to be, it'll be its own sort of display, and then there'll probably be two separate displays behind the goals. So will that wee corner make any difference to the big display? I wouldn't think so. Do you know what I mean? My own concern about this Celtic doing this is it just reeks and I know we're always talking about the club's always got to find new avenues to make money, and they probably sold loads of those panoramic prints last year at the Green Brigade display, the 125 and everything, right? And they've seen that as a money spinner, so they're right. Fair enough, they've got on it. But at the same time, it just seems like it's another wee piece that's been taken away from us. In my opinion, like, it just seems like another corporate thing where it's kind of making money off the fans that it doesn't need to be made. Which sounds totally stupid when I hear myself saying it.
Harper, see Barcelona beat us 5-0. Do you think they'll be selling prints here?
Depends what the display is. I don't know. I still think this will be selling print. And I think that'll be a big part of it. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's a sponsor's name on the back of every card as well. When you hold it up, you'll see your wee sponsor to look at. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit pessimistic in that. And I'm not one of these guys who goes after the club on everything. I'm really not. I just feel it just feels a wee bit. It just left a wee bit bad. It just left a bit of a bad taste in the mouth. I did feel that it was like someone else that were taking away from us. That's just my own personal opinion. But that's just the way I feel. And if they can do it as well as the Green Brigade done it, well, fair enough. But just, I don't know. Clubs tend to get these things right. When you've seen Chelsea and that, when they had the flags that were handed out and everything. And I just don't know. I'm uneasy about it. Not that it's a big, massive deal. But if you're asking me if I would prefer it was just fan-led, that's what I would go with, fan-led, because we always come up with the best things. We come up with the most unique things and interesting things. But at the same time, I understand that the fans can do certain things that the club definitely couldn't do. Like, no, there's no way the club could have, like, your man with the Clash smashing the Juventus badge and stuff like that. That's only something that the fans could do. So it's going to be sort of, it's going to be politically correct, user-friendly, Disney Channel, if you like. That's just my opinion. So on you go. Tear me to bits.
There you go, Joe.
What about the display?
Aye, what do you think?
Yeah, he's right. It's an exercise to make money, but then again, it's a football club. That's what they're meant to be doing. You know what I mean? I think. Then again, does the display really matter that much? In fairness, when the team's coming out, Barcelona, I think it's the atmosphere rather than the display that makes a difference. You know what I mean?
But that display, that last game, didn't kid yourself. That was shown all around the world.
Yeah, I understand that, but that was also a very sort of emotionally charged week as well because it was the anniversary of the club.
But news stations all over the world didn't know that as well. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing. If that display was done somewhere in Spain, we would all see it the next day.
Yeah, no, but I think Jason's right as well. If we had a tank last year, they wouldn't have seen that display on news channels. I don't think.
Aye, of course you would have.
No, you would have seen.
They just peeled into insignificance. See if we could beat 5 or 6 nil, they'd have been bothered their arse about the game.
They would have just showed the goals and that would have been it. You know what I mean?
Not a chance. There's not even the slightest bit is that even close to being true. That display would have still been shown everywhere the world over.
Aye, well, what okay. Well, the display was brilliant, absolutely great. So, I'll give my tuppence worth, right? I mean, I think the Green Brigade, what they bring to the stadium is brilliant, right? Yeah. So, but what I've got an issue with this because Celtic's coming out and they're trying to do something, right? Celtic Stadium, we all support Celtic. It's this like evil PLC that folks start saying all the time, and they're like, why are they trying to make money? Well, if they make money, we can get better players. And if you're at any club that you're playing at the top level of European football, you need to make money. So at the end of the day, if you want to be FC United in Manchester and stuff like that, and playing the Ryman League or whatever, that's fair enough. If that's what your aspirations are, but we're a top club, and
Jason, come on, the people on the same that at the same time, you're going to the extreme there, like.
Oh well, I'm just using an example. You're talking about making money. You're a if you show me a club,
I says I understood that.
And I gave you your bit to talk, and you're just jumping in and talking pish when I'm trying to talk.
No, because you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm not even mentioning anything you said.
All right, fair enough.
Right. Whoa! But, so see, to be honest with you, I've got a bit of my bean at the bonnet about this thing, and see the Green Brigade had to box clever, because I reckon there's people within Celtic, the Celtic upper echelons would love to get rid of the Green Brigade. A lot of them don't like them, and there's a lot of Celtic fans out there who don't like them. And there's a lot of folk that sit in the fence that are a bit undecided, and I've got a feeling that see when the full stadium lifts up these banners and the Green Brigades get their own one, some of these folk will say, who do they think they are? Are they better than us? Are they not want to get involved in this that we're all doing? And I just think it causes a bit of division. But I need to qualify this because the Green Brigade have put a lot of money into this, or fans who put the donations, Celtic supporters have put a lot of money, and these guys have planned this for months. So I get that they need to put their banner up. But why not just lift up Celtic's, put it down, and then lift the rain up? There'll still be time when the teams are lining up. Why could they not have done it? And see, even if they want to even box even more clever, I'm not using the right adjectives or anything like that, but what I'm trying to say is, if the upper echelons of Celtic are trying to sort of smash the Green Brigade, which I reckon some of them would, the Green Brigade came out and I know they're good at making statements, but they should come out and make a statement and say, we are absolutely delighted that our football club is taking the lead for what we showed them last year with these fan displays. Celtic are embracing the ultra culture, and we couldn't be more delighted that our board are getting on board with stuff that we've showed them last year. How much would Law be sick if they come out and said that? Do you know what I think?
Totally. I think you're totally right.
And if they played them at their own game and just says, look, we're absolutely delighted that Celtic are embracing the culture that we've showed them, and look what you can achieve when you bring Razmataz to the game in the way that we've showed Celtic. And we're absolutely delighted that Celtic's getting on board with us now. And all the Celtic fans should rally around it and realise that the club's forward thinking now, and they're embracing the culture that we've showed them. And we're delighted to be the ones that led the way to bring the... See all the old guys in the support that hate the Green Brigade, they'd be choking their bottle fucking... You should be
the Green Brigade's press.
Yeah, see, if some of them had a few bits of brains about them, they could have maybe thought of that. But I just, that's what jumped out at me. I don't want to downcry the guys. They bring a great atmosphere to Celtic Park. But I just think at this time it's been a wee bit divisive. And I think maybe the upper echelons at Celtic, that's maybe what they wanted. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off mark, but that's my opinion. Because I know loads of folk that are saying, who do they think they are? I know people that are saying that already.
But you don't think as well that, I mean, on the other side of that, I mean, that they are their own entity and they should stand out in that regard.
Aye. Well, that's what they've chose to do.
But there's also kind of a romance to that as well. I think. You know what I mean? They're sticking to what they do and their own ideas. I think.
Yeah, but they'll only succeed and they'll only continue at Celtic Park as long as the vast majority of the support's behind them. If normal fans start turning against them and think, oh, who are they? Then the romanticism dies.
Then again, for all we know, tomorrow the Celtic display could go up, and you could go, that's brilliant. And the Rangers display could go up, and you could go, that's even better.
Aye,
You know what I mean?
potentially it could. I might be way off mark here. I don't know, but I just think it's a wee bit divisive, and I've got a feeling that there's people within Celtic have done this deliberately. But at the end of the day, Celtic seem to be happy letting the Green Brigade put theirs up. So it's, at the end of the day, there's maybe no issue here, and I'm making an issue of the one that doesn't exist.
That's what we do here. We've got to fill 2 hours.
But no, that's my viewpoint. But if I was the Green Brigade, I'd have come out and done that. But what do you do? I mean, at the end of the day, we all support Celtic. Everybody supports Celtic, but it's as if this PLC is some evil body. You know, and that's the bit that gets me. You know, I know we've sort of called them out at times in this show when we believe they've done wrong. We've had people on this show as guests that's sort of, they've highlighted the fact when Celtic have done wrong, and we've no reason to disbelieve them that's come on this show. And obviously, we're a platform for Celtic supporters, but I just think they could have been a wee bit cleverer. But time will tell. I've no doubt their display will be brilliant. They always are. You know, they're some of the best things to happen at Celtic Park over the last half a dozen years have been because of that group. So you can't take that away from them.
Super. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it all. I mean, and I'm sure most of those Barcelona players are actually looking forward to getting in there and seeing it anyway. I mean, because to play in that kind of atmosphere has got to be a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah,
you know?
And plus they think they'll beat us.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think they are going to beat us. I think we can. I think they can be taken tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Oh, they definitely can.
Chris Commons said at the weekend, he said he thinks that Celtic have a better squad now. He said just need more time to bed in. So I mean, tomorrow night could be the night when people realize. Well, we all realize maybe he's right. You know what I mean, maybe this is a better team now. You know, but we'll wait and see. Can't wait. And Messi's not going to be there, so. I mean,
and Mascherano missing's massive.
Yeah, so I mean, they're obviously a wee bit weak at the back and a weak at the front, but then again, they can play football around you if you let them, you know?
They'll get bloody Fabregas, Iniesta, Xavi, Pedro, the wee Brazilian boy they signed.
Neymar as well.
Aye, that's what I was on about.
Got him,
more than a club, and they spend 60 million or something on somebody. So, not much more than a club, to be honest with you.
Obviously, Messi's going to spend tomorrow night stuffing more tax money under his bed.
maybe he's actually in jail and they're not telling us.
That could well be the truth. Was he owed like €3.5 million or something?
Aye, it says it was his agent.
I'm sure it's always the agent, isn't it? It's always somebody else's fault. I don't know. Who cares? Harper, are you there?
I was just away getting a beer. What you saying?
I know, what was I saying? We're talking about the display. And score predictions.
3-0 to Everton. Lukaku's got second.
I'm looking at the draw at the score now.
What do you think score-wise, Jason, tomorrow?
1 each.
One each?
Bite your hand off for that.
I'd take a 1 each now, but I still think we could beat them. Right?
I don't know, I think that's misguided. They could beat us about 4-0.
I don't know. I'm just being hopeful and being optimistic. Harper.
I don't think they're anywhere near as good as they were a few years ago. And with it, as Alistair made a great point, he scores 75% of their goals.
Yeah.
That's incredible, that stat, isn't it?
That's fantastic. Who else has ever done that, I wonder?
Here's another thing, right? Tell me this. What's your view on this? See the demographics of football teams. Have they changed? See, years ago it was your number 9 got all your goals. See now, see this number 10, the guy that's got the free roll behind your strikers. Do they score more goals than the strikers? Because you're Ronaldo at Real Madrid, Messi. You know, these Rooney at Man United.
Yeah.
Is it Suarez at Liverpool?
It's probably more to do with the fact that it's the way teams play now. You know, it's like you talk about Barcelona last year, they never put a ball in the box. You know what I mean? That's not any good to a sort of old-fashioned target man centre forward. So they are looking for the guys who are going to do the 1-2s in the box and get the goals and that. And it probably comes down to more those kind of teams is probably more down to sort of skillful footballers getting the goals rather than just out and out strikers, like all round players. You know what I mean? Guys coming from midfield, the goals come from everywhere. Although it sounds a bit stupid when you say Messi gets 75% of their goals. That's just because he doesn't give anybody else the ball. You know what I mean? But it's probably just because of the change in styles of football, like, no? No?
I think it's changing the game overall. Like, I mean, it's a lot more. I mean, the higher leagues of football, like the leagues are a lot more. They have to be more entertaining, I suppose, and more skillful. And I suppose that's kind of what you get. That's kind of football you get.
I think so.
Aye, it's it's interesting now that you don't get the number 9. See, like use the example because I think he hit the post on Saturday. That big donk, Chris Boyd. I mean, there was no doubt the guy could put the ball away, but he done nothing else. Mm-hmm. You know, see they guys, are they a dying breed? Is there not a place for them in the park any longer?
Not at big clubs, I don't think.
I don't think there's a place for them at the top teams in the top competitions. Last time I've got a list because I've got a new midfield tobacco. But no, you're right, Jason. It's something I've never really thought of before. And as I say, I didn't watch a lot of world football. I'm not really the kind of guy that tunes into the Premiership or that, but I watch it when it's on in the pub. But you're definitely on something there. It's more of these guys that play off. If a player I think I can mind that we had was a bit like that was Andy Tom. He was probably just a bit too early for Celtic in that regard. Because he was a kind of striker that played like that. But you're definitely on something there. But I mean, Chris Commons, I suppose, could be a sort of diet version of that. Well, probably diet Commons isn't the right word. But you know what I mean. He is the kind of guy who he's not a midfielder, but he's not a striker. But he can get a lot of goals round about the edge of the box. Joe says he sees him scoring for the edge of the box. But when you think of Commons scoring, you always picture him scoring a screamer through the edge of the box. How many of them that really are like that? It's just the ones that stick out. But
I think tomorrow he'll be playing that kind of advanced role in the
midfield. If we play one man up front, he'll definitely play that role.
And the thing is, see when he gets a tiny bit of space, he can place the ball anywhere he wants.
And do you know what I like about Chris Commons is the fact that he is just willing to unleash a shot whenever. Yeah. Because a lot of times in the past, we've had a lot of players who just too much fanning about. Just let some go sometimes. And you never know where they're going to go. Help somebody, ricochet here, ricochet there, win yourself a corner. You know what I mean? I love the fact that we've got a guy like that who just rifles shots everywhere. Like.
And see another thing, see when you're playing like a top team like a Barcelona, how many chances do you get that's there for a poacher? I mean, I know Tony Watt drilled it, but that was when Barcelona had opened up because they were getting
that was catching on the break.
They were chasing the game, but see, like your Gary Hoopers. I mean, Gary Hooper, he wasn't even playing, wasn't he? No,
that game, no, he wasn't. No.
Nah, so it's when your top strikers, we don't play the game that our top strikers get many chances against them anyway. You know, and it's down to guys like Chris Commons or guys like Samaras that can produce the special. You know, that's going to get you a goal. Your goals are going to come from outside the box. Your goals are going to come from, you need to invent them, or you have set pieces. It's going to be headers and stuff like that. Wanyama was good at arriving at the back post, but you're right, Harper, you said it earlier, our set pieces are vital. If we get any balls in any dangerous positions, we need a top quality delivery and somebody on the end of it. Because you're not going to get many chances. I mean, you're talking about tomorrow night, we're going to get maybe 5 half chances in the full game.
Yeah. I think a guy like Pookie, if he plays in the box, he has the lookings of a guy that's very, very quick to move for a loose ball. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what I like about Pookie. He's came in there right, and obviously getting the goal as early as he did when Stoke set him up the other week for his first goal was brilliant for him for settling down. But he's come in there and he does not look out of place at all.
No.
He's just fit. He's fit like a glove. He's went straight in there and he looks like he belongs in that team. And he's obviously only going to get better. And I'm really excited about this guy. Like really excited about him.
How old is he? He's very, very young, is he?
Oh Jesus! Here we go again. I'll just Google that. Joe,
23, you know.
Whatever we guess, 23.
Not having Paul Larkin on adds about an extra 15 minutes to this show.
One might pad it.
For just random fact checking.
Aye. So one of the boys that we got a tweet there. Well, he tweeted me, Big Boy Scouse Tims. He says he's more worried tomorrow that Ajax get a result than us. So he's maybe looking at it. You gave up in our result, NNB gets a bonus. But if Ajax take in against Milan,
where is that game? Is it in Amsterdam or is it in?
It must be in Amsterdam because. No, wait a minute. Aye, it must be because we played in Milan. Aye. So it's got to do. They're not playing 2 home games in a row.
Yeah.
I would fancy Ajax probably. I would fancy Ajax to get a result.
Really?
Aye,
as you say, you don't watch much World Fit, but they gave me 400 PSV Eindhoven last week.
I know that Milan team.
I didn't think Milan were overly brilliant against us.
No, they definitely weren't.
Ajax at home. Just they're in the Champions League. They're not there for nothing, like no.
But the AC Milan were 2-0 down to Napoli last week, and they scored 2 in the last 10 minutes to draw 2 each, which at home's not a great result for them. But Napoli, they could win that league.
See, to be honest, right, and it goes the same as the group last year, right? When you thought about it, and it obviously didn't really work out. How we thought about it, because you kind of look at Barcelona saying. You can go at the start before any game's played and just say, like, Barcelona win every game, right? And then it's down to how you do against the other 2 teams. And all the other teams have got the capability of taking points off each other, sort of thing, right? Obviously, we went against the tide last year because we beat Barcelona, and we certainly should have got someone in Barcelona as well. But you could see Barcelona really. They could win every game. There's an argument for them winning every game, right? So,
but they won't.
I know that they probably won't, but there is an argument for it. But the other games are really important. You know what I mean? I'd hope for a draw. I'd hope Ajax and Milan get a draw tomorrow night. That would probably be the best result for us, like, you know? Because then
depends what your aspirations are. You maybe want Milan to beat them.
Are we going to Amsterdam next? Or is it home again next?
We've got Ajax at home next.
Ajax at home again next. So then, if Ajax were to lose then, or draw tomorrow night, anything bar an Ajax wins probably the best result for us, because then you've got to hope we beat Ajax at home then, and that kind of maybe puts them adrift. Like if Ajax go beat them tomorrow night, then we beat them, Ajax would be sitting at the bottom with a single point.
But then again, then you're fighting Barcelona for second place if you want it. But then again, it looks like third place is probably the only thing you're going to get then. You know?
I would kind of, I kind of think I know where Jason's gone with this, right? But it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to me to know that Ajax were adrift at the bottom, and we were maybe like favourites for third even.
But it says to me like you're kind of throwing in the towel for the sake of Europa League as well.
I'm not throwing in the towel, but I like to have that safety net, if you like.
It's kind of like an insurance for things going wrong.
Well, the way you can look at it, I know this is getting totally way ahead of ourselves, but say for instance we get beat tomorrow and AC Milan take a result against Ajax. Right, Milan's sitting with 6 points, Barca's 6 points, and us and Ajax we get nothing. So we then beat Ajax at home, Barca beat Milan. So then we've still got Milan. So then immaterially what happens with us and Ajax in Amsterdam, we've still got AC Milan to play at home, which we think we can win. So that would you been the same points as AC Milan. You know, with 6 points, you'd need to beat them more than they beat us.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, but it's all ifs and buts. And then Barcelona's through. You go there in the last game, they've got nothing to play for.
And the other side of that coin is as well, when we play Milan, you've got to be expecting Barcelona to beat Ajax. There's still 2 games left, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you're saying we hope we go to Barcelona, they've nothing to play for. But in the game in Amsterdam or wherever they are, if I don't know if they're home or away, when we play Milan, or they'll be away, they'll be in Amsterdam, will they? Did they beat Ajax 4-0 at home or 4-0 away?
Home.
This is really confusing.
I know,
It'll work itself out. Just sell it, win all the rest of their games. That's it.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I was thinking about today, if I was going to come on and talk about tonight, how you always go so far ahead. Because if you remember, Paul, before the Milan game, we're thinking like Milan, that's the game that could be there for the taking. And then we've got 2 home games. That's us on 9 points.
I know. That's true. Well, it'll all become more clear tomorrow night anyway.
Clear as mud.
I don't know. I can't wait.
It's just everyone's. See, from a selfish point of view, I kind of want us to get third in the group. I know it's wrong because you want to finish as high up as you can, but I just feel this Champions League's too much for us. See if you qualify and you're in second place, it's just some of the teams we can draw. You know that Juventus, I didn't think they were that good.
No,
but they absolutely destroyed us.
They were incredible. You man, I mean, the play.
I don't think they were incredible, Joe. They proved that when they come up against good sides, but they're just ruthless. You know, a couple of mistakes and it's bingo. It's over.
But then again, you got to remember as well, they also wrestled Gary Hooper to death. You know what I mean? I know, but it's just.
It's one of the
catch-22s. Tough.
It's one of the catch-22s where you think if the stars all aligned sort of thing, we could go on a run in the Europa. And we could.
Yeah.
Aye.
That's genuine. We definitely could. And if we're all honest, the chance of us going any further in the last 16 is pretty slim. As you say, the teams that you're going to get in that round. So it is the catch-22, but because you're never ever going to say, I didn't want Celtic to win.
Yeah, I know.
So, and that's kind of where it takes me back to where what I was saying to Joe. If Ajax could be sitting on 0 points when we go to play them, and hopefully if we could win the 2 games against Ajax, well, that's you practically home and dry for third place. If Ajax lose tomorrow night and we beat Ajax twice, that's you got 6 points and Ajax are adrift at the bottom. And
I got to think a lot of these players with the Champions League experience that they've had, bringing that into the Europa League, they'd be a big force.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I don't know what it is.
We can definitely beat Ajax. We're more than capable of beating Ajax, but I suppose they'll be looking at saying they can definitely beat us.
Yeah.
You know, they would be a similar level ability to us, I would reckon. You know, Dutch football and us, I'd say it. Their league would be their league's probably better. They've got 3 good sides. You know, they've got 3 good sides in their league. They've got maybe 4. But AZ Alkmaar was doing well for a while there. So they've got so they're probably a better league than us.
But saying on that, I think those 2 games could be absolute crackers. Because you've got 2 teams who really, really like the only option. The other option essentially is go out. You know what I mean? If we don't beat you, you know what I mean? So maybe they are fighting for third place overall eventually. So I mean, those games could be absolute crackers. You know, because you've got 2 teams of pretty similar ability, probably both raising their game to beat the other one, and I don't know, it could be great. This could be the.
And I'll tell you something else, Joe, that's going to add to that. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere in Amsterdam, and the amount of Celtic fans that are going to be there. Like,
yeah,
because I know we only got maybe say I think it's 3,000 tickets or something like that. But I can guarantee the amount of fans that have gone. There's going to be more find their way into the stadium than that. I would say, and just the whole day that's in it. It's going to be an amazing day. That, like, Jason, you're going, are you?
Aye. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a good few years gone, no tickets yet, so
see, you can find your man's scarf, would you?
the old Jambo scarf, that'll be its 10th anniversary.
I've told a few people that story who've been listening to the podcast, right? And they've just looked at me as if to say, is that not a bit likely? I thought, maybe it was funnier when Jason told it.
I told my wife that and she was like, that's terrible. It's like, poor man. I was like, but he was a Hearts fan. She's like, I don't care. No, man.
It wasn't me that done it, to be fair. You know, I was just a witness to the crime.
Well, you certainly weren't throwing your swimming goggles on to go get it back.
Certainly no. I was more disturbed about the stool story. Don't go there again. Don't go there again.
Don't go there.
Man.
Another few years, I could end up telling a few secrets.
Aye.
What else are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about the thing that happened on Saturday over the other side of Scotland, the other side of Glasgow?
Well, you're from Belfast, mate. It must mean more to you. So, what's your views on it?
I think it was just. I don't want to say embarrassing because I don't really give a shit how they make themselves look. You know what I mean? But you have all these. I've seen all these guys marching in the pitch in the video, the YouTube video, and it all looked very, sincere and genuine and very well organised. And then the next clip is them all doing the bouncy in the corner, giving tons of abuse. Apparently, Stanley Muir fans are getting abuse as well. Like these guys in the pitch, and they're just running around like it was a free for all.
See what, man, right? I'm glad they do these things. I'm glad they keep coming up with all these stupid things because it just really shows them up for what they are. They're an absolute embarrassment. It was a cringe fest. Do you know what I mean? Soldiers getting pictures with scarves with UVF and them and everything. You're just like, what is going on in the world, man? There's no other club in Britain feels the need to do this stupid nationalist pride sort of thing that isn't even real. It's so fake, it's unbelievable. I put a post on Facebook yesterday, and it was something I picked up on one of the history podcasts about Rangers during World War II. They're the same as they picked up everything except a rifle. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, it's true. And then that thread last night we were talking about Joe, and I don't even think they've paid for the Poppy money yet.
No.
They robbed the Poppy Scotland money and everything, and then they go and do this. It's just, they're an absolute joke outfit, and they're just proving themselves to be a joke outfit time and time again. And I'm actually glad they've done it because it really just shows them up for what they are.
But then again, once again, it's been similarly ignored by the Scottish media. I read the Alex Thompson blog today about it, which in fairness was a good blog because he made a good point that Scottish media weren't covering it because this is the kind of thing that they do. But he also, for some reason, decided to drag Celtic into it as well.
Mm.
He made mention of sectarian songs are not unusual at Ibrox, the same as they aren't unusual at Celtic Park. Right?
See, that's the bit that gets me. It's always got to equal it up, and you're like, wait a minute, what's it got to do with us?
Exactly.
It was the same. Tom English on Twitter last night had tweeted something along the lines. I'll not get it verbatim, but he said something about that. He actually said that it was stupid or something what they'd done, but he says it just makes me realise I never want to see this game played again. Celtic Rangers, and you're like, what? What are you on about? I mean, what's Celtic got to do with it?
It's not like...
You say they've always got to try and bring Celtic in.
It's not like Celtic have provos abseiling from the top of the fucking main stand.
We should have to equal it up.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
But it's just
if you want to see pyro, we'll show them pyro.
But it's just see when you've seen it, you're like, am I actually watching this? Is this what they're doing? I know it's...
There is a serious note to it though.
Big time.
When you're talking about that, right? I mean, this is members of the armed forces joining in, bouncing about to songs of the UVF, songs with Bobby Sands, getting pictures with UVF scarves. And the other side is that there's a boy getting £600 fine and a banning order for singing Roll of Honour at Tannadice. And this club just goes impunity.
That's mad.
So I mean, there is a serious side to it. I mean, what's that guy who's sitting with £600 fine, sitting like that, going, what did that do?
It's not a £600 fine up by his record and get jobs and stuff like that. It's serious stuff, But it's the full thing. The full thing's quite. It's quite disturbing, to be honest with you. What was going on. That was like some form of fascism that was going on there in that park. I found it very, very uneasy. I didn't watch it all, and I was like, what's going on there? And it's just, why are you doing this? Why does Chelsea not do this? Why do... See, Hearts have been honouring British soldiers for decades, because I think it was either the First or the Second World War. Nearly half of Hearts' team, or a load of Hearts' team, died in the war. I think it was the First World War. So they have a commemoration every year, and they've been doing it for decades. And seemingly it's done with the greatest amount of what Rangers would call the dignified examples. But Hearts, nobody even knows about it, and they just go about their business, and they have a commemoration to these ex-players. And that's what they
Maybe
do.
that's what it
Fair
is.
play
Maybe
to
that's
them.
what it is. Maybe that's the thing. Back to World War II and Rangers, that's what it was. The soldiers were still on the park at Ibrox. Instead of being on the front line fighting. You know what I'm saying?
No, but it's a serious subject. This because Hearts do it, and they do it with great decorum and stuff like that. And I mean, Hearts aren't everybody's favourite club, but they're doing it for the right reasons. It was a load of Hearts players lost their lives out fighting in a war, so they commemorate them and they do it the right way. But this was I felt uneasy watching it. And then when you see them all the party songs start up,
It seemed like
you say, how thick are they?
It's just bizarre. It's just a really bizarre thing to try and take in.
Is it an attempt to be like uber British? You know what I mean, is that what it is, or is it just like?
Oh, aye, absolutely.
Aye, it's Jason. We see it probably with baseball a wee bit. You see, even when we were there, you seen all the sailors were at the Mets game and that.
Hi,
But
sailor.
The thing though, if Rangers were just saying, right, there's some tickets, come and sit in the stand or that, fair enough, right? But this parade about the park and jumping about the penalty box and everything, it's just a bit embarrassing. Like, no, it's childish. Even I don't know if that's the right word. Like in America, they do it. Americans are really nationalistic and all that, and they have the flyover with the aircraft and everything, the national anthem playing and that. But they didn't have like soldiers rolling about with rifles on the mound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Aye, true.
Let's face it, they would if you gave them half a chance. I'm not into this nationalism at all. It just any form of it sits quite uneasy with me, to be honest with you. I'm not really into it at all.
But it's got to be an embarrassment for the Ministry of Defence as well. Like, I mean, look at your well-behaved soldiers jumping around Ibrox.
I know. I was at Mass in Florida once, and the priest came out and saying all these prayers for American soldiers and that, and I felt saying, well, what about praying for the other side as well? You know, it's like because during the Falklands War, was it no? The bishop was blessing the British soldiers going away at Portsmouth, but the bishops were in Argentina blessing their soldiers. Same God. I'm like, nah, there's something all right here. Yeah. You know, I've got nothing saying prayers for soldiers that come for your country, but say them for the ones for the other country as well, as their life not worth as much. So nationalism and nationalistic pride and stuff like that, I think it's misguided, and I'm not a fan of it at all.
They're all going to the same war, right?
Aye, I'm not a fan of it, but I feel quite uneasy with a load of that stuff, you know, and that, especially that was going on there on Saturday, I just felt pretty... It didn't sit right with me, but if that's the way they want to go, and I know what they're capable of, I know what some of their fans are capable of and stuff like that, and I just don't... It's just alien to me, and I don't like it, you know, but what do you do? I don't know if anything will happen. I don't know if any repercussions will happen. I don't know, but I just the end of the day, a song's a song, right? I'm not getting high and mighty about songs. I sung worse when I was younger, you know, and with this culture of clighting each other in, everybody's videoing somebody, everybody's, you know, I feel very uneasy with all that stuff as well. But when you've got people that are getting paid by our taxes, you know, we're paying these people, and they're openly showing their hatred for one side of the community. You know, you're like, wait a minute here.
And then again, you know, there also is the irony of taxes as well. When you think about it, like
aye,
Rangers,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
I know. Aye, they could have got a few cannons and better uniforms and stuff like that. If the folk that they're jumping about singing had actually it was not the fans' fault, it was the folk that ran their club.
It's kind of like instead of wages, here's tickets.
Aye, the full thing just is bizarre, and I can't make any sense of it. So I don't really know what will happen. I'm not wanting to judge, whatever.
I definitely see. It seemed like, you know, a behaviour from another time, like. I mean, put some
did he remnants of Nuremberg and stuff like that? I don't know. Or you think that there had just been a liberation? You know, you think they'd get rid of a fascist dictator and they were celebrating on the park? You know, it was like, what is going on here?
What war have you won that nobody noticed about?
Aye. Nah, just very, very surreal. No, in a good way. But there you go.
Was this their attempt to try to get someone for their fans to jump about because we've got the Champions League? this week.
Could well be. Well, wasn't it? Wasn't it? It was Armed Forces Day, was it? Is that what it was?
I don't think it was.
Aye, that's
No,
what
it wasn't.
That's
No,
what they're calling it.
no,
That's what
it
they're
wasn't.
calling it. I know it's not
But
officially
that's a different
UK.
day.
I know that.
Oh,
it's
right.
post season, but that's what they were calling it.
They-
Armed Forces Day.
oh,
at
right,
Ibrox.
okay.
They've just started their Armed Forces Day at Ibrox.
Oh, right. I didn't realise that. I thought they'll have Armed Forces Day as well. That was just a wee extra.
Didn't they have that last year when they had guys abseiling from the top of the stand?
Right. Seemed like the guys abseiling on Saturday as well.
See what that reminds me, the Blues Brothers, so at the end they're in that building and the soldiers appear and they're abseiling off the top. No, Joe, you know what I'm talking about. That's
Vaguely.
what it makes me think of. Fucking clown.
Oh man!
Right. So we're about wrapping this up, guys, because I wouldn't mind watching the second half of this Everton game.
I think so. Aye.
You're going to wait to watch Breaking Bad.
I've just got
know.
a few announcements to make here, just that have come through.
Oh,
Here.
you?
I do indeed. I'm well on the ball. Paul Larkin will be on the Celtic Dream Show on Friday night at 8:15. Talk about his
Oh,
book.
boy. You can make an appearance for them, can you?
Well, he's spreading himself out a bit, We're
There's a
going
lot to spread.
I want to promote this was on the Beyond the Waves show at the weekend. I want to check it out. The 2nd Street Plowboys CSC at the Plough and the Stars Bar, 123 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia. So new CSC launched in Philly. If you're out that way, Plough and the Stars is where a good friend of mine, George O'Devlin, works. So get in there and check it out. He's a top Tim from Glasgow. So check it out. Seamus Cummins will also be there, showing off his bald head and singing many songs. So that's about the end of it. So score predictions, probably. Did we already do that or no? I'm
going to go with. I'm going to go. Do you want a heart or head?
Both.
The heart says 2-1. The head says 2 each.
2-1 to Celtic.
Aye.
I can see a 1-0. And I can see Big Van Dijk putting in an absolute stormer.
I just feel that when we played them the last time, because we'd played so well in Barcelona, I was as confident as I could be playing Barcelona at home, if you know what I mean. Whereas this time, I think they're even bigger favourites this time than they were the last time, for some reason in my mind. But I think sometimes that's where we work our best in that kind of adversity. This is all just in my mind, of course. So I think we're going to put in one of the big performances tomorrow night.
I think so too. Jason, you said 1-1, yeah?
I do, and I'll be going to the game with the expectations. See, with these games, you go, obviously when you get there, you get caught up in the moment, and it's just, see if it's 0-0, you're actually alright. You're sitting there just waiting for them to score. But see if you go 1-0 up, then you start getting terrified. It's like hiding your eyes, because you're nearly there. It's like, it's the hope that kills you. Do you know what I mean? See if you've not got any hope, you're alright. If they rattle in a couple of early goals, you're just like, there you go.
Right.
But see if you go 1-0 up, or if it's 0-0 and you've had a few chances.
Yeah, because
we can do this.
The next stop is either just absolute pandemonium and complete elation, or it's going to be just gut wrenching. Just if they score.
Because in the new camp, expected absolutely nothing last year. But see, when we lost that goal at the end, I was absolutely devastated.
Me too.
Yeah.
I could hardly talk for an hour.
You're
sitting there numb.
Right.
Same with the AC Milan game a couple of weeks ago. You're sitting here and you're watching it and you're like, I couldn't see anything else bar us winning.
Yeah.
In fact, we've not had a show since then, have we?
No, we haven't. No.
You watched that game at home last time, Jason, did you?
Aye. Me, one of my mates, and our Joe watched it in here. And do you know what?
I think it's always harder to take when you're at home and when you watch it at home.
Oh, aye.
Because when you're in the pub, what I mean is when you're in the pub, right, we were all gutted at the end of the game, but then suddenly somebody batters €2 in the jukebox and it's here we go, and then the place is just lift off again. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody starts partying, and you can kind of get away from your sorrows that way.
There's plenty
if you're sitting in the house, you just sit staring at your feet, going shit.
To be honest with you, I was in the pub watching the Barcelona game last year and I was devastated. But it was one of these ones, you know, I think Lenny kind of gambled, see over there, because he made very attacking substitutions. And I think he was right to do it, to be honest with you, because sometimes when you sit back, you end up getting nothing. You're like, why did they not just go for it? And I thought they were there for the taking near the end, and he did gamble and it didn't work, you know, and they were so unlucky, you know. Shot going by the post as Aguirre deflects it in, and just bloody hell. And then the second, but the second it was a foul on Brown. He gets elbowed in the mush, and I think his only problem was no getting done. He's too honest. But so yeah, it's a killer blow. Sitting there gutted, but in a way I was like, at least Lenny went for it. You know, I would have done what he done. You know, I'd like to think I had the bottle to do what he done, because he did go for it. You know, he didn't try and show the defence up, say, right, let's take a point here. He sort of went for it. I think they were there for the taking, because we had a few chances. So I just hope tomorrow night, I hope we get a wee bit of luck. We need a bit of luck, and we need everybody to play well. We need big Fraser Foster to stand tall in the goal. And you never know. It's a funny old game, isn't it?
And see, to be fair, I should probably just, Fraser Foster was excellent against Milan. And I think we spoke before it. Well, I certainly heard that he was probably my biggest worry going into that game, so I'm glad he never proved me wrong, but I'm glad he had the game that I wanted him to have. And he seems to be great on these big nights, and hopefully we'll get another night like that to fight Fraser again tomorrow.
Aye. So
just thought, you know, Newcastle are on the way back.
3-1 now, it's 3-1 now. Seen that. I just got to mention as well, I think I got a message there in the chat room that tomorrow they're playing the Stars in Philly. I think Danny O'Connor's going to be there.
All right.
And I think I actually watched Danny's latest fight in Celtic TV.
You mean he's not got a fight? He's got a fight. He's fighting about once a week.
He fights all the time. Fights.
He's a boy that likes to fight.
So we're all done here. We're looking forward to tomorrow night. I don't know, just let the chips fall where they may, I suppose, and enjoy ourselves.
What, the chips fall where they may? What does that mean?
That's one of them old cliches from back in the day.
Is it?
Aye.
What do you mean, chips?
You know, like poker chips.
Poker chips.
It's a metaphor, Harper, for fuck's sake.
Poker chips don't just fall where they may.
If you throw them, they do.
People place poker chips in precise positions.
All right, fuck's sake.
Not played much poker recently, Joe. Or ever.
Right, anyway, whatever.
Is it all the dice? Let the dice fall.
I always thought it was the way the chips fall where they may.
As it could be.
I don't know, but
I'm just looking for anything to get at you.
I know, you're just a fucking prick, that's why.
Drogheda getting beat by
Or just a praise.
That's what they get for having an orange walk. Bastards.
Right, so it's goodbye from me, Joe McKenna, and it's goodbye from yourself, Jason.
Yep. Goodbye, trips, and hail. And may the luck be with you tomorrow.
I can bring another legend next week.
I know.
We'll have a show next week.
Of course we will. Well, we'll have a show next week.
It's our 100th show next week.
It'll be, aye, with 100 show. Shit.
So expect fireworks, razzle dazzle, people abseiling off the building.
And just star upon star calling in.
Aye. Which we've done absolutely no work towards.
We've done no work to recruit anybody of note to come on the show.
And listen, if anybody finds that heart scarf, see if you can find Chris McGuigan while we're at it.
Where is he, by the way?
I don't know.
He's
making history with his history podcast.
Has he just disappeared now because he's put so much work in the history podcast?
I don't know.
Anyway,
maybe his wife's want married again.
His wife wants married?
I mean, to him, as if they're...
Ah, no, Gerald, he didn't say she was enjoying the fucking free time.
Right, well, that's the end of the show. We look forward to tomorrow night, and hopefully things go well. Hail, folks.
On Harps!
Right, so here we go. We're playing it with the Champions League music. Hail, folks. Good luck.
See you.